Okay, now I will start to introduce our S6600 anesthesia system. And the main part today is for the software and the main interface. So here, when we first switch on the power, you will see actually it will come into a computer software. So that also means the software for this anesthesia machine is enough accurate and also functional. And then after it, actually it will show the logo on the screen. And the logo can be OEM. So if you want your logo to be putting on our screen, it's also okay. And then you can just now see the self-checking. So after it, you can see we get into the self-checking interface. And within the screen, you can see there are many items, including the gas supply, the gas mix, ventilator, and also the monitor. So everything, if it's in a good condition, then it will be in a green color. And if actually it has some problem, then it will be in the red cross. And then you need to check. For example, now actually we haven't connected with the gas source, no matter for the oxygen or the air. So actually for all of the gas source, it is in red cross. So then now you can check the gas source when you connect it correctly, and then it will show everything in green. Then you can use the machine. And after this step, actually, we can also do the automatic circuit leakage compliance test. Actually, usually, maybe several months or half a year, you check it one time. Or if you think actually the machine has any leakage, the data is not accurate, and you can do it again. So now here you can see when we turn the start, and after several minutes, it will show if the machine is in good condition or not. And usually, if you need to do a quick operation, you can just skip it. So then we will get into the standby interface. So by the standby interface, here we can see actually it will first show you by 4 parts. The first part will be the above side of the alarming information area. So here you can see the ventilation mode we are choosing now. And also here we have the button to make the machine in mute condition and also keep silence. Because sometimes actually the doctor think the patient has no problem, but actually we want the machine to keep totally silent, then we can press it. But usually it will only give 2 minutes because we must prevent if the doctors forget to turn it on. Here it will show the patient type we are using now, also for reminding the doctors if you have already done the correct settings. And here you can see the time, and also if we're connecting with the hospital information system, or we are using the AC power or the battery now. So it's all of this item is for the status shown. And then we came to the second part. The second part will be the biggest part. It's the middle side. Once we start the ventilation, you can see by the middle side actually we have many graphics. And for this machine, actually we have totally 4 waveforms and 2 loops to be synchronous to show on the screen. So it can ensure the doctors to see, no matter they prefer to see the waveform on the loops, it will be all synchronous to show on screen. And here for each of the data, actually we can also choose to set in different colors, and also later I will show you. This is the second part. And for the third part here, you can see there are also many parameters. And for all of these parameters, we call it the monitoring parameters because all of these parameters are from the patient end. It means actually we can tell if the patient is using in a good condition from all of this data. And also the doctors can judge if they need to increase or decrease the parameters for the patient or not. The last part will be the fourth part, also we call it the adjusting parameters. So for all of these parameters will be the setting parameters which the patient is using now. So why we need it to be shown here, because we need to remind the doctors if you have already done the correct selection. So this is all for the 4 main parts, and then we will check each of them. So first, when we are in the standby interface, you can see actually we have 2 options. The first one is for new patient, second one is for the previous patient. For the previous patient, actually you can check, actually we cannot set for anything. And once we start ventilation, actually it will be using the data which we said before. So actually if a patient is finished using the machine and give them some oxygen uptake, but the next time it will be the same patient or the same kind of the patient to be using the machine, actually we can do the quick operation, just using the previous patient information to start ventilation. But if we are changing to a new patient, actually we can press the new patient button, and you can see now we can choose for adult and pediatric and neonatal. And you can see when I change for each type, actually the data by the bottom side will also be changed because actually we have the presetting already in the software, so it can save the doctor's time. So for example, now we are choosing for the neonatal, and you can see we can also set the age, and also we can set for the weight for the baby. And after all of the settings, then we can press the start ventilation. And also before this, you can first do the settings by here as well. For example, now we are using the VCMV, and you can see we can just press this button. Now it's by 18 millimeters, and when we increase our frequency, and then you can see the tidal volume can also be done.